What's going on, YouTubes? Time for another recap. Definitely an interesting, choppy day, and we kind of seen that coming, unfortunately. So we'll start off on the X here. A couple little freebies to look for. Okay, 5 hours ago, little 10 SMA daily tag love coming in hot for the SPY and ES to follow. We're looking for an over-under. I post my purple zones here. Purple is over-under, and this was that prior gap that was filled on the daily chart, so real easy to see. And we're looking for the green side. We called the 10 SMA daily target for today, a little bit later on the day. Now, we have some interesting ISM data here. I called also the QQQ, just so you guys know, 523.69, 1 minute gap. Get some algo love there. Oh, we lost it. There we go. And then we had different trade outlooks. We went back and forth, and then ISM rejected us to crazy over under level above this orange level. That was the SPY level for today. We talked about this being a huge over under for the SPY. So if it got underneath that, it was game over, down to 595.65. If not, we were coming up. Just to give you guys a little hint of what the Discord is like as well, we build into these positions, and our ideology, trade ideas change literally by the minute, sometimes by the half hour, sometimes by the hour. But the premium levels we pick, I point out the algos. I give you guys daily scalps and levels to watch. Huge level on the bottom of the Q's algo. We'll go over this level right here. That was the massive over under we talked about. Having the zone completion. We talked about over under here at the top, giving a bunch of reasons for it, breaking down SPY, and we do this way ahead of, market launch. We're in the chat and we go live 8 a.m. Central every single day. But I'm also live in chat 6 a.m. usually or earlier. Don't sleep too much, but as we get into these trades, we go through a whole bunch of stuff that we are trading, breaking down real P&Ls with real accounts. And they still have $3,700 today. And of course, the big green with the targets, all the scalps. Okay, a lot of these are just scalps. We post out some long-term stuff here on the X for some friends of ours. I label everything for take profit zones here as well. So let's kind of get into how messy I am as an autist specialist here. Why won't the, oh yeah, I got to do that. And then this, right? Yep, Apple, crazy. MacBook hates TOS. All right, let's talk confirmations and continuation biased on the market and how we handle this stuff. Because the market, as much as we love to predict and give out levels and everything else, it's going to do whatever it wants. I don't care who you are. You can't predict every single tiny thing of the market unless you really know what's going on, or you're Pelosi, one of the two. So the huge over under, I'm going to delete these after, but was over under the purple channel. Okay, I said anything over 601, you are guaranteed up to the GP, and that was our main protocol for the week here if we didn't come back down underneath our other fib level. So if you remember our last two videos, we talked a lot about the pull in which way we were going to go. So I left all these drawings on this chart here, and I gave you guys two candles, obviously the gap down on the tariffs right here and the one before it, right? We created the purple gap zone right here on the daily chart, and I told you guys right here from $600.30, I drew these giant candles. I said we will go either inside and we will come into the golden pocket, 10 SMA for today, or we will break inside this candle. We will go under 599.44 as the candles suggested on Monday. So we had a really good target down here at 595.51. If it went short, which we'd have no GP, it will 100% come back to 595.51. Watch. And when this turns around, whether it be right here at the golden pocket or the 10 SMA, I assume the golden pocket because that is our trade call, we will most likely see some static up here and then back down to my initial short target. We will get it. And let's look at the intraday scalps now, okay? So you see this label right here, and I drew and talked about it with my chat, and I said, here's that purple zone chat. Please don't go too crazy inside the purple zone. Wait for trend direction outside and a push, right? And I'm going to delete these for now. We're just going to focus on that purple chat so it doesn't get too busy with all this jam here. And then I post a target on X and, of course, for my group, 10 SMA daily long target for ES SPY. So 10 SMA daily is right here. We have a custom code that codes this 10 SMA into our 5-minute or 1-minute or any minute chart. I'm going to delete this one too. So we did get this 10 SMA tag that we wanted. Now, we did talk about this pre-market and posted that prediction if we were above the purple zone, right? It's an over-under zone. It's very large with multiple magnet Fibonacci's. So despite this 10 SMA tag, that's where all I wanted for the zone today. We will be coming back to here. So the end of the week and the next couple of days in data, this is where SPY is going to go into this golden pocket. Will it be today? to hit 56043? I don't know. I don't care. I played the high probability chances of what I want to see tagged. 10 SMA daily was that high probability chance. So let's get into how we found it and how we did it. So these are all take profits. I was telling my chat right here, if you guys are long in the purple, please take profit a little bit at yesterday's close, a little bit at yesterday's highs, and then the rest of it at 10 SMA daily. So those gray boxes I drew from my chat here, just talking about the live stream on the chat and in the Discord. I'm going to delete the 10 SMA target as well, because all this stuff we post way ahead of time for trade plans, and we try to navigate during live streaming best we can. So here's that giant orange box I was talking about in the video. If we happen to launch ourselves through that, it was game over. If we stay above it and start maintaining 599.44, this was the biggest level I had on watch today. Notice the giant ISM candle, right? So I'm going to take these Fibonacci's from the high-low of the ISM. We always fib out high interaction data candles, right? And then we watch this little nonsense higher low, higher high, and SPY build as QQQ kind of sat flat, and we'll go over that in a second as well. But as we said, anything over 599.44 was looking really good. And then back up to the zone, of the over-under purple would lead us to the Fibonacci ISM, right? So as we always do on this channel, high-low ISM comes up. Anything above the golden pocket, right? 38.20 to 61.8, that's my jam. Anything over the 50, and then you see this little algo tag right here. Look at this candle. It's a very interesting candle. Pay attention to hammers like this, right? There's no coincidence that it dove directly into the half candle retrace candle, the orange dash line, that's half candle retrace, which is half of yesterday's candle, 50%, and the 50 fib of ISM data at 599.84. So we have that higher low right here in a really interesting candle, which means anything on a no GP tag, and I love interesting candles. Fibonacci is a way of life. It's not an indicator, okay? If you don't know, you should. So this algo candle also had 50 Fibonacci perfect tags to it, okay? So something to keep in mind, but we could tell just by the look of it. Now, where's the target? Well, we said over under the purple, and it goes up, and we said 10 SMA daily. Cool, we're at the target. Awesome. We called about 20, 30 points to the upside here. And if ISM, again, blew out, and of course, we put in our chat anything over 601, we are very heavy dominant to the upside, because once we recover 601 for support, we have to go to the golden pocket, so we are going to 604.43. Probably today, most likely. But my tag is only the 10 SMA daily for the back test. Let's talk about that real quick. The 10 SMA is something that we had broken through with the tariffs. So when something finds support, not on the weekly, up back, it needs to back test. So just like a price level, we can pretend anything's a price level. We're going to use the 10 SMA. It breaks through. When it finds support, it usually back tests, right? And regardless of which way it goes after that, that's not what I'm worried about. The worry is the backtest magnet, the first tag, right? The confirmation. So the magnet back up to the 10 SMA was definitely on watch, which we drew up this morning. And it had to go over under the purple level. Now, we have the ISM that kind of dipped us back and it hit that purple zone, right? And just created this gnarly wick. So this is when we go to the oscillation indicators on the inside. We need to know what the RSI and MACD are telling us. Well, if we're watching this close, you see that the 50 RSI channel is on the top, which means if this line on the RSI is above 50, you're in the top channel of the RSI. The channel is 70 to 30. I use 50 right in between. It's 20 points away from each, okay? So as we hold on the top side of the RSI in the channel, this is relative uptrend dominance. Same with the MACD. If the MACD is over the zero line, trend dominant to the long side. So when we seen this heavy consolidation, I got out of all shorts right here because I did not like a little algo 1 minute structure on NQ was giving me some burden. So I got out of the short like right here, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to go back long most likely and trace back to our original targets, which perfect. No big deal here. We switch biased on the fly all the time. That is what the market you have to do that in the market as a day trader. There's nothing you can do about just guessing, right? We have to be open biased all the time. So after the ISM candle hit, we got over that golden pocket. We hit the target of the 1618. Further consolidation, 10 SMA target, further consolidation. We will probably squeeze up end of the day here, 604.43, because anything over 601 is a guaranteed magnet to here for support. Pretty much got that right now. So if you want a free trade there and you're listening into the video, pay attention to these algo runs because I call these a lot in my premium chat. Link is in the description. QQQ time. This is another big takeaway here. I took the consideration on that Twitter and I said the algo back test, it's going to go 523.69 or back to the minute gap that it left. And we're all about gaps, and sometimes they just don't feel. QQQ is not the better trader market. QQQ is the worst market to trade. ES and SPY is always better. So when we talk about, there we go. When we talk about this stuff, playing out perfect with algos, it's always SPY. I was actually watching SPY for this trade right here, getting out of my NQ short for the breakdown here because of these candles, and I seen the SPY developing higher, low, higher. I said, nope, absolutely not. I don't care what the Q is doing. It's going to go up. So we got out of that short right there. Okay. Now, we had an algo high low and a minute gap as we posted on X, okay? Labeled here, 1 minute gap open, 523.69. If you watch our videos and our lives and how I break this stuff down, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about and how to find these. You're going to look to your left and you can be like, oh man, Brandon really says to pay attention to these algo gaps. There's one right here, 523.69, was not filled. So the next prior day we have, you guessed it, a magnet, right? Up to that minute. So let's take a peek. There was a little bit of a scummy move here. This is the ISM again, high-low. I'm going to redraw this here quick. This is from the 5 minutes, so it's going to go from here. I think it's just to here. Let's go from 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It catches this low, right? Yep. Okay. So from here to here. And we're going to point this to the upside. So again, just like we did on SPY, high-low from the ISM could not break down under. Notice the purple. I post purple for over under. Very strong over unders, okay? Ones that don't just break easily, okay? And we made that up here at 520, about 8 cents, 6 cents or so over here. We have a weekly Fibonacci. That's a massive overlap right there too. So very hard for the market to go anywhere through this. So obviously we've seen the SPY stacking up. Now we already hit the GP yesterday, okay? 525. That was the golden pocket that we had seen yesterday. We talked a lot about those drive up moves that were coming. Let's go to the 5 minute chart. Oh, actually, no, we're going to go to the daily chart here. And I do want to explain the algo magnet for this as well, because we went over this on Monday. We said which way it's going to go. We had 2 picks. Let's make it a little less crazy on the screen just for this daily example. So remember, we had this candle, 128, or 31, and the tariff gap down, and we created the gap. That's where we went long into 2 days ago. Yesterday, rather. This is today. So what do we see here? Besides the daily gap? Well, golden pocket, no tag, and potentials. So you draw out the high-low of this candle, and we notice that there's no golden pocket tag on the daily chart. We go backwards to this candle, and we notice that there is a daily gap. So the next leg up for QQQ is to get to 526.31 as it predominantly goes up. Now look at the difference between the QQQ and the SPY here, okay? This is the same thing. We had a candle above and a candle below, both with no GP tag. So when we started trading yesterday, I told you guys on the YouTube, it's over under 521.89 to 521.12. It's either through that mark and it's going to this golden pocket, or it's through this mark and going to this golden pocket. It is our job to determine the direction in which it will go as day traders. That is the algo magnets. So the second it recovered the 100% fib right here, and look where the low of the day is, right? Look where the bottom of the algo support is on that body. See that body right there? See where that body tags into on the algo candle? Big, beautiful body support right there, okay? Then we got 520.89, 521.12. That's what we just talked about, the gap on the daily, right? Between the fibs. Held it, broke up, and right to the algo. Straight shot, 50 fib. That is the magnet target, 526.31. SPY's doing the same. So if you look back over here on the SPY, it will magnet to the same. Probably by the end of the day. Actually, pretty sure it has to. Anything over the 10 SMA, we got 10 more points to the upside. Ooh, you get close to 2%. It's 1.7 on the day, 1.68. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, guys, that's how we predicted the target. That's how we did in the day trade today. We did pretty good. Oh, we can go over some anchors too, actually, just real fast here. I'll grab my top steppy here. So this is one of the top step accounts. Whatever, we got 5 funded ones that we always play with here in Top Step for funsies. That we're getting lots of payouts on. I think we're over 8 or 9 grand the last 2 weeks here for this. But let's talk about some anchors too. So the ISM data, despite how much we do use Fibonacci here, we also use some anchor VWAPs to help. And I just want to make a couple suggestions for you guys to make anchor VWAPs. One of my second, maybe third favorite indicators, something like that. As we come into the anchor VWAPs here, I put it on the top and the bottom of the ISM candle on NQ here, right? And then when we started building these bases, you notice that this is a no tag. So on the bottom of the ISM candle where that anchor VWAP is drawn, none of these wicks actually touch it. So this is a no tag floater. So the price action, most likely after hours later today or when it opens up, NQ will return back to this lower anchor that is on the ISM bottom because the price action ran away for a no tag. And we need a magnet to draw that price action back down. We got a lot of imbalances to fill as well. Most likely going to happen after hours on the new open for tonight at 5 p.m. Central. That's when futures open for me. So let's draw a couple more of these just for fun so you can kind of see how anchor lows go on the uptrend. So when we have a really good base of support and the price action starts running away, what I do is I start drawing anchor VWAPs on all the lows leading up to where price action come back down. So let's take a real easy peek at that. Whoop. We're going to delete the top one because I'm not going to talk about the confirmation here on this one. There we go. So on the ISM bottom, on the consolidation bottom, and on that little interesting algo we talked about earlier in the video, we have anchor VWAPs. And then we wait for the price action to break away from that and retest those anchors because this is a limited risk long on trend, right? Because it's popped up, came back down to test that volume weighted average price, and she ran. Okay. So just a little helping hand here of where these can set up for you. Over and over again, these anchor VWAPs can be moved and placed anywhere you want. I'm seeing two interesting trades right here. We're gonna have a short right here at the end of the, or at the open if these don't fill. So we have 2 5-minute golden pocket tags right here. So once this goes up, up, and up, wherever we land after hours, we actually might return to the 26 and 25.40s today. That'll be something for my premium chat we're gonna go over when the market opens. All right, my friends, if any of this sounds good to you, you like what we do, you want to see me do this crap live as we draw it out, talk about it, link is in the description. And if you want to stay tuned for just the next free YouTube video, awesome as well. Take care. Trade safe.